Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer Talk of the Crown Saturday Night Chat. Hello and welcome to everyone, and we will be talking about lots of royal news and stories today. But today I need your help because my list is a little bit thin on the ground, and the reason why my list is a little bit thin on the ground is because of all the things that have been going on in my life right now. So I'm not going to get into details on this chat about what's going on in my life right now. I spoke openly and honestly about that on my patron only live chat last night, and I do want this chat to be about the royals and the royal family, partly to help take my mind off what's going on in my life. But if you do want to know what's been going on, check out my patron only live feed from live video chat from last night, and also I will update people not as openly and honestly, but I will update people, generally speaking, on my weekly vlog. So hello and welcome, but I need your help, back to the point, I need your help to ask me really, really good questions, because otherwise it's going to be a very, very short chat. So yes, I need your help with tonight's chat to help keep things going. So I hope you've all had a really wonderful week. I'm going to jump all the way down to the very bottom. I can see lots of people saying hello, and there was a lot of chat going on before I even got here. So yes, if you said something really important or you had a really important question, do repeat it again. Colleen says, love you, you look so dapper, thank you. And I'm wearing my, my Queen's bow brooch today as well. And of course my sash, my beautiful blue sash. Lana says, I made it for a change. Hello. I'm glad you made it. And I think all of the notifications have gone out as well, so that's working really, really good. Helen says, try to join Patreon but wouldn't accept payment. Oh no! I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Maybe they have a frequently asked questions. Maricia, rather, says, I have to read that twice then, says, Elliot, are the Sussexes done? Do you mean done as in finished? As in their relationship no more? No, most definitely not. Where on earth did you hear such rubbish from? Do let us know so we can avoid going there ourselves. MDQ Quinn says, you were cut off a bit at the start. I'm sorry, I have no control over when I'm cut off or not. Was I cut off for everyone, or is it just you? I don't know. No tiara. Do you know what? I forgot the tiara. I thought I felt a little bit nude, and I forgot the tiara. I can run and get one if you want one. It will take me about 20 seconds to go to the other end of the house and get one. Let me know if you want tiara. I completely forgot, to be quite honest. I've had a lot going on, so I completely... My brain has been mush this week, which is why I need your help. In fact, I even forgot this week that I was wearing the fringe tiara, and I kept saying 2011 instead of 2001 for the Twin Towers. Yeah, my brain has been mush, so I need your help. Oh, I have a donation. Gessie. Now, by the way, is it Gessie or Jessie? I'm thinking it's Gessie, but I just want to make sure, because I've always said your name, and I'm just wondering if I've always said it correctly. So Gessie has donated $49.99. Well, I think, yes, you have. I'm going to give you the golden fan flap. There we go, the golden fan flap. Mwah. Thank you so, so much for supporting me and for supporting the channel. Deirdre says, you look like you've been crying. I have. If it's because I look like it, it's because I have. Is the Queen still in Balmoral? Yes, she is still in Balmoral. She will not come back until a few weeks into October. Thank you for the hugs. Veronique says, yes, cut off each time for me. Oh no. You always missed 1 or 2 minutes at the start. Oh no. I don't know why it does that. Parmony Stevens says, I think notifications come a little late, so when I get here you are in mid-sentence. Ah, that could be it. Angelica says you look a little sad. I am a little sad. I can't hide it, I don't think. Aminata Jar has donated $23.99. Thank you so much, and of course you get a golden fan flap just for you. Mwah. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for supporting as well. Alicia says Meghan's Vogue is officially no longer in the shops. Oh no. Well, I mean, you've all had a good chance to get it. I mean, I would imagine that they printed extra if it sold out in certain zones or locations. But I imagine there will be now that it's gone off sale completely. I would imagine that you'll probably find lots of people putting them on eBay or other such sites. Yes, probably at an elevated cost, but I imagine they will be there somewhere. Oh my goodness, I have lots of donations. Hang on. Louise, $20. Bless you, dear. You're awesome. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much. And of course, the golden fan flap for you. Mwah. Louise. We'll call you Princess Louise. And I have another donation from Auntie D's. $5. Take care of yourself one day at a time. It is indeed, and it's still not over for me quite, but thank you so much. Mwah. Like I said, I don't really want to make this chat all about me, but hey, I will talk about whatever you want to talk about. Bella says, we have the mag here in LA, at Barnes & Noble. You put yeah, so is that LA? I think you might have meant LA, I don't know. But yes, thank you for all the hugs and all the love being sent. Yes, I do need a funny movie to watch. Thank you, Janine. Gail, hello, says, you're looking quite dapper. The launch for SmartWorks campaign went very well for Meghan. It did. It was a triumph. I will say it was a triumph. Hopefully it will calm the naysayers and critics a bit. Please get a tiara. Okay, I will run and get a tiara if you can cope with a blank screen for 20 seconds. But yes, Meghan, I will talk about Meghan first. Yes, it was a triumph, and she came out, and I do believe she was wearing the husband shirt that Misha Nunu designed. By the way, I've always thought, is it Nunu or Nonu? I've always said before Nonu, but I'm hearing people pronounce it as Nunu. So anyway, Misha Nunu, she designed the shirt, and I do believe that was the one that Meghan was actually wearing, and I also believe that she was wearing the trousers as well, although it's quite hard to tell. But I do think she was wearing the trousers too. And she made such a wonderful speech explaining, and I spoke about this in my previous video on this, so if you want to hear it at length, go watch that video. But she did make a really passionate speech where she explained where the concept came from, you know, that it was this sort of mismatched items of clothing that were being donated, and people were finding it really hard to put together a good look. So she came up with the idea, to cut a long story short, of making a capsule collection. She got brands on board where they each designed one piece. We had the Marks and Spencer's dress, we had the John Lewis tote, which sold out during her speech, or rather she was told before her speech. We had the jigsaw trousers and jacket, I do believe. And what was the other one? Was there another one? I'm forgetting myself. But yes, it was a wonderful collection, and I think lots of items now, I think, have probably sold out. But the most affordable, I think, was probably the Marks and Spencer's blue dress, and it did come in a few other colours too, as well. Let me see. I'm just seeing things whizzing up on my screen. Oh no! Now I've lost where I was. Hang on. Yes, I will go off and get a tiara. Oh, D&G Explorers, hello, I can see you. How are you? Big hugs from Big Explorer and Little Explorer. Big hugs to you guys. I'm doing okay. I will get through what's going on in my life. Elliot Poodle says, most of us truly understand helping and caring for family is quite emotional. It is indeed, and it's still going on, I will say that. Sarah says, hugs, I have a 101-year-old grandmother, wow. I will be inconsolable when she passes. Yes, it won't be good. It never is. MDQ Gwyn says, I haven't heard anything of Brit's reaction to Meghan's collection. Oh, isn't there lots of British articles out there? I'm sure there is. I mean, I don't know. Read the comments in some of the articles, but yeah, it was a triumph, and I think lots of people obviously think that the idea is good. How can you not think the idea is good and positive, and a really positive influence? Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything bad about it. I mean, of course, the press always put a little bit of a negative slant, you know, on things a little bit. I mean, we did have Catherine coming out doing her latest and final, I have to say, latest and final garden for RHS Wisley. That's the Royal Horticultural Society Wisley. So she took elements from kind of like her first garden and made it into a permanent fixture at RHS Wisley. And of course, that's all in aid of trying to improve mental health through making a connection through the outdoors. So we did have, you know, the reporting of if you compare and contrast how the headlines addressed Catherine's story with how they addressed Meghan's story, there was still a slight negative slant on the whole. Meghan reporting, of course, referencing all the things, all the negative things that they've been saying in the summer. I think one of them said Meghan, you know, brazens it out, and Meghan, you know, puts on her best face, and all this kind of thing going on. You know, that kind of vocabulary, you know, still kind of putting out that negative narrative. Whereas with Catherine, they did kind of just go all positive. And of course, both of what they're doing is positive. You know, both make an impact in different fields. And of course, they are very different things. They're very different concepts. And why can't we celebrate both? Why can we not celebrate both? They both did good. You know, both girls done good, as they say. So I want to give I want to give them a joint fan flap. There we go. And you know, I would like to see people wearing Meghan's collection visiting Catherine's RHS garden. That would be lovely. So yes, I'm not into all the you know, compare and contrast stuff going on. But anyway, I just thought I'd make that point. Thank you again for all the love and the hugs. Oh, Alicia has 3 copies of Meghan's Vogue. And Janice says that the September British Vogue is just getting to the States. They're selling out. And Southern Belle says, I've noticed the Kensington and Royal Instagrams have upped their game. More graphics. There is. They are using that medium a lot more, I think. Gregory C says, thank you so much for your recommendation. I received my Spencer tiara today. Woohoo! Oh, fan flap for the Spencer tiara. Golden fan flap for that. Yes. Isn't it gorgeous? Wear it with pride. I want pictures. Elect Lady says, I think we're going to get a new picture of Prince Harry and Archie on tomorrow for his birthday. Who knows? Maybe. We can't rule it out. It would be nice. We can't rule it out. Jill says, we love you and your mushy brain. Thank you. It's like mushy peas. What is Princess Beatrice doing these days? Well, I mean, I haven't heard a big lot about what she's up to these days. But if you listen to the press, she's barefoot and pregnant. No, she's not barefoot and pregnant. But as soon as I hear anything in particular about Beatrice, I will update you. But of course, it is always fun to speculate about her relationship and pregnancy. But I don't think so yet. Candice Bavaria says, Vogue is on eBay. People are making extra dosh out of them. They are indeed. Cheryl says, can you imagine some counted the amount of times Meghan said me? Did they? 43 times. They are not focusing on her work, always something negative. Did she say me a lot? I never noticed. I mean, I listened to the speech, of course. I made a video on it, and I didn't really notice that she said me a lot. No. But then again, it was her idea, so you would talk about me, wouldn't you, if it's your idea? I don't know, it's a strange thing to count. Thank you, Gessie, who says, you're welcome and you said it well. Mbot thinks it's new. Okay. Because if you put the N-double-O and the N, you'd get Nunu. Okay, I'm going to go with Nunu. There we go. Elect Lady says it was a shirt from the collection. Yes, I think it was. And people said the white shirt and pants fit her brilliantly and very, very smart. And I think that you know, any of the ladies that receive those outfits or select those outfits will have a really, really good outfit and a good chance of getting that job. And I said in my last live chat, I hoped that the models were people that had actually used the Smart Work service. And I think I read afterwards that they were, because there was a little interview on the telly that I watched on my local news, and one of the ladies was talking, and she talked about how SmartWorks had helped her. So I do think that all of the models that were modelling the clothes did actually benefit from some point. At some point from SmartWorks. So I thought that was a nice touch. We didn't get our fashion show. I wanted a bit of a catwalk going on. But anyway, not to worry, it's still all sold out, so there we go. Mary says the fact that Meghan didn't use notes is pretty amazing. Forget how many times she said me. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, it would take me ages to memorise something like that. However, if it's something that you've written yourself, I think it is always easier to remember it. And also, we do have the fact of, if you go back to her former life, her former career, she would have been required to learn lines and remember them and deliver them on cue perfectly. So I think she's drawing on the skills that she learned from her previous career, her previous life, and she's applying them to her new role. And hey, if you've got a good skill set that you can draw from, you go and you do it. Yes, I don't know how much the magazines are going for on eBay. $195 on eBay. What? Oh, look, no. Look, no. I don't care how much you want one. $195, just don't do it. Wait, and you'll probably find one a lot cheaper. My goodness. Some people have got a brass cheek, haven't they? Annette says, it was just jealous because so many got theirs earlier. And Angelic says, I have to go. Hello. Thank you for your kind wishes. Duchess of St Andrews says, exactly, strong memory skills, public speaking skills. If you've got a skill set, why would you not use it? Hey, she's got a really good skill set. Mary says she is an extremely articulate woman. She is indeed. And Janice says, Meghan's public speaking has nothing to do with learning scripts to play a role. She's been public speaking since her 8th grade graduation speech in 1995. I'm sure if you go way back, she has delivered speeches before. However, I do think that, you know, you cannot, nobody can say that her previous role, her previous career has not helped in how she can present herself when she's on the public stage. You know, she might not be doing TV shows anymore, but being a royal does have a lot of crossovers. There are a lot of crossover skills from being, you know, in TV and film or the stage even. If you want to go all theatrical, there are a lot of skills that you would take from that, which is why I also think it could probably work the other way. I think a lot of royals who have been working royals all their life would actually be very, very good at TV and theatre and that kind of thing, because there is very, very similar skills. There are performance skills, delivery skills. You have to have a good memory to be able to deliver speeches. Public speaking. There are a lot of crossover skills, and Meghan most definitely will have benefited from the role that she had with her previous career. More so than Catherine, more so than Diana, more so than Fergie when she first came, more so, maybe not in terms of Sophie Wessex. She was into PR before, so I think she was kind of in the same kind of zone. But yes, certainly a lot of the other royal ladies that come into the family, I think Meghan would have a little bit of an advantage from the career that she had. But yes, I think the royals would make amazing actors and movie stars and working in theatre. I think there are skills that would definitely translate a lot. Apparently, we have a lot of people in the room. 489. Hello to all of you. And also, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be drawing from a skill set that you already have. I don't know why there is a notion of looking down upon it. I certainly don't. Duchess of St Andrews says, self-confidence strengthens over time and with exposures. It does indeed. And T French says, have you watched the show Outlander? No, I haven't. I have learned more than ever before about 18th century Scotland, and I have learned what a laird is. I am a laird by one of those boxes that you buy off Amazon, if that's what you mean, yes. I don't know if there will be a restock of the SmartWorks collection. It was only available for a limited time. However, if it is so successful, I would imagine that they would reproduce very, very quickly and get another batch in. They may extend it, they may choose to extend it if the project is successful, which it has been. So I would imagine that there's a very good chance it may be extended, or at the very least restocked. Are people shouting Tiara? Okay, right. 20 seconds. Time me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, did I make it? How many seconds was that? There we go, that was a quick dash. Okay, I have the Duchess Augusta tiara because it was the easiest for me to grab. So there we go. Let's scroll down. I'm sorry if I'm missing out questions, but I am trying to keep down. 15 seconds, woohoo! Give me a high five, people. I want to see those hands. Auntie D says, I remember Princess Diana mentioning how much she learned from Princess Grace related to engagements and small talk. Yeah, it would have been the same kind of thing with Princess Grace. Of course, Grace Kelly. Louise says, I get confused on YouTube. What is the truth and what is coming from the haters? I think it's sad. We should support her. I hope Archie gets a brother or sister very soon. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that score. Nobody, not even the royal reporters, are privy to the making of a brother or sister for Archie. But we did find out, this will keep the press happy. The press now have the answer to their question, which they wanted to know last week, which was formula or expressed in terms of milk. Do you remember that one article was very adamant that that the main question that they wanted to know was, in the great scheme of things, was, with everything going on in the world today, was expressed or formula. And I pulled them up on it last week because I just thought it was atrocious. But anyway, they got their answer. Meghan answered because she was caught saying that she needed to go home because it was feeding time, which kind of hints, I think, at the fact that it may have been expressed. Yes, it may have been expressed milk because obviously I think she is still feeding. So, because otherwise, if it was formula, she wouldn't have had to have dashed back, would she? Because anyone could have given formula. So yes, so the press asked and they got their wish. They were informed on expressed or formula. So I just thought I'd point that out as well. I know, how terrible. Thank you for all the high fives. Oh, have I missed some? Do you know what? I have no idea what I've missed. Let me just scroll up and see. I'm scrolling. I don't think I have missed any. Because I'm scrolling all the way up. Oh, no, I think I've done it. I think I said Auntie D's. And I think I said Louise's. Yes, I think I said everyone's. Betsy says she's... Oh my god. Has this chat gone down to lactation already? My goodness. Barbie says, I wish Meghan hadn't answered such an inappropriate question. Well, she kind of didn't. She was talking to someone else about why she had to go, and the press picked up on it with their microphones. You know how they are. Annette says, did anyone notice the Duchess is now slowly losing weight? She looks so healthy and she wears additional weight. Well, I think before you have, I mean, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, do correct me. But I have heard ladies speak about these things. I watched some vlogs, Colleen's vlogs on YouTube. She's the one who does, she's the lady behind Miranda Sings. And, you know, the one with the big red lips. And she had a baby recently, and she made a whole vlog about how your body changes after having a baby. And she said that whereas before she was kind of like, her figure was like that, and she said she didn't really have much of a womanly body. And she said post baby, because your hips obviously have to kind of move to channel out baby if you're having a natural birth. You know what I mean? To go down the canal, sometimes your hips widen, don't they? That's what she was saying. So she was explaining that her hips, her body shape is now basically different post-baby to what it was pre-baby. And it doesn't matter how much she tries to get back how she was, just literally the body shape has changed. The hips have widened. And that's possibly a little bit of what we're seeing with Meghan. So I don't think that she's like heavier than what she was. I think just the body shape has just changed. I think she's probably a little wider in the hip, which is fine. There is absolutely 100% nothing wrong with gaining your womanly body post baby. But yes, I think that from what I've heard, that happens, and I think that's probably happened to Meghan too. But she looked good. I mean, she really looked good. So I don't think anyone would have any issues there. Now, have I frozen? Because what I'm looking at, I've frozen. So if you can still see me, type that you can still see me. I'm sure it's okay, but just let me know. Oh no, it may have gone. Uh-oh. Oh no, things are popping back. Oh, you can still see me. Okay, that's fine. Just everyone stop talking, and my screen is frozen. So I just thought I was gone. So yeah. So do people agree with me about the womanly body? Auntie D says she looks great. Breastfed babies cause a few extra pounds until you wean. Okay, I didn't know that one. Elise says you're wearing my favourite royal outfit. Very handsome, thank you. And Janice says, why are folks concerned about whether or not the Sussexes decided to People weren't. The press were. It was the press that asked the question. Lactation is the appropriate word. I'm going to rename this video. What shall I call it? I want to get lactation in there somewhere. I don't know. Who knows what kind of viewers I'll attract with the word lactation. I don't know. It would be an experiment, wouldn't it? Sanju says her name is, Colleen Ballinger, and her new baby is Flynn. That's the one. There's 2 YouTube channels of her, Colleen Ballinger and Colleen Vlogs. She's an American actress in a Broadway show. She is indeed, and she just had a baby, and she made a video about how everything has changed to her body. So I learnt a lot from those videos. So I'm imagining that's what happened to Meghan too. MSNB 2012 says Meghan was of slim hip before pregnancy, so she will just have more curves now. Like I say, it's like you gain your more womanly figure. You've got more to flaunt and wiggle. Wiggle and jiggle. Get your wiggle and jiggle on. And, you know, people pay a lot of money to get bigger down there, don't they? When you can have a baby and just get it for free. And, you know, I feel Elect Lady says, Annette Wells, white, some people, not all, go back to their original weights. And DC says, why did you choose to put Meghan's name in the title of this chat, but not Catherine's? Do you find Meghan draws more viewers? Well, for a start, I couldn't put everyone's name in the title. I'm only limited to 100 characters, and only the first 70 characters are visible when people do searches. So you have to be very concise with your titles. So I did think about different combinations, about trying to get different stories in, but I just couldn't. And seeing as I think Meghan's story got the most exposure this week, I would probably say it got the most exposure. Um, I just thought I'd put that one in. But I can't fit everyone in, unfortunately. CB says, because Kate has extreme morning sickness and a very long torso, Meghan is shorter and has shorter torso, and they are simply different human bodies. Everyone has a different human body, that is correct. Oh, Rose is suggesting, if you have BritBox, there is a wonderful programme on Balmoral. John S. says, the press is a tough animal. Glad the royal family mostly only comment on red line issues. I agree entirely. Yes, I think we have seen in recent years some red lines that cannot be crossed, and when the press do overstep those red lines that the royal family, they themselves know, then obviously they will take action. Live, Love and Laugh says, Meghan looks good, losing her baby weight gradually and gracefully. Sandra says, now that the Cambridges have secured the succession, it seems that the palace press machine is focusing on the Queen in training. Well, it kind of has to, in a way. I mean, I personally don't think we've seen any examples of that, really. I think they do give exposure to the different royals in the same kind of way. But obviously, when it comes to different events and things like that, Catherine's position will become more prominent as the years go on. That is just the way it's going to be. It's the way it's got to be, because Catherine, one day, all being well, will be Queen Consort, and her next step is as Princess of Wales, of course, if William is bestowed that title, which I think everyone kind of thinks that he will. So it's very likely that she will be Princess of Wales, and she will be kind of given those kind of roles and pushed out on that level, because that's what she is, and she is going to be Queen Consort one day, all being well. So yes, I mean, I don't think they're doing that particularly yet, but we will see gradually an increase in that. 584 people watching. Hello to all of you. Please give me a big old thumbs up. Let me know that you like it. Pamela says, that's uddly cuddly. What's uddly cuddly? Elect Lady says, hopefully they have not forgotten that Camilla will be Queen Consort before Catherine. Indeed she will. And I do think she'll make a good one too. PM Smile says, Diana and Sarah Ferguson knew each other since their teens. They lived close by each other before and after marrying two brothers. No comparison to Kate and Meghan in relationship. Well, I mean, going back, there was a little bit. Kind of, the press kind of, when Sarah came into the royal family, they kind of monikered her as the kind of breath of fresh air, the kind of the fun one. I think they kind of put her out to be this breath of fresh air, the fun one. And I think there was a little bit of competition in terms of who the press followed. Did they choose to follow Sarah on her engagements, or did they choose to follow Diana? And of course they always opted mainly to follow Diana. I think there was one occasion when, I think I read it in one of Ken Worth's books, which was Diana's Bodyguard. There was, I think Diana went on a skiing holiday and Sarah was on some kind of engagement. I don't know if it was a tour or not, but she was on some kind of actual engagement and Diana was on a private holiday. All the press flocked to Diana on the private holiday, and there was nobody pretty much to cover the engagement of Sarah. So I agree, I don't think there wasn't the element of social media. just general people's views, I don't think could be heard as good as well as they are, and made more accessible as they are in today's world. So I think we are definitely seeing, we're in the social media age, and everyone has a voice. Everyone can be a twit on Twitter, can't they? Everyone can make posts and comments and make their views known. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that going on as well. So who knows, if we'd have had social media back at the time of when Diana and Sarah were about, who knows what it would have been like. We are kind of judging sometimes we are victims of judging history by our own modern standards, and not only just standards, but what goes on in modern life. And we forget that back in history, it was different. So sometimes we kind of try and apply our context to a historical context, and it doesn't always translate very well. But I do think it would have been a lot different if social media would have been around then. Barbie says, for my lactose title, utterly ridiculous. Oh, I like it. I like it. And Antoinette says, she stated she had to feed Archie, not specific which method. No, she didn't say specifically which method, but it was implied, because if you add logic to it, if you add logic to the comment, if you personally have to get back to feed Archie, we know that they've got a nanny. Harry could have been on the scene as well. So she didn't have to get back to feed Archie. The nanny could have done it. Harry could have done it. So the fact that she had to, I mean, she's got two things that no one else has in that household. So she's got two things that she's the only one that could use. So I think she implied, although not 100%, I think she implied that that she needed to go back to feed Archie. So I think we can kind of take that from there. And Annette says, is the media going to be on the same plane with the Sussex? I'll start again. With the Sussexes and Archie on the trip to South Africa after spending so much time trolling the Duchess throughout her pregnancy and since. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they have a big British Airways plane these days, and the royal party kind of sit towards the front, and the back of the plane is kind of filled with press and all other kinds of things. Who knows on this instance what will happen, because obviously we know that the relationship between the two aren't good at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see with that one. Jill says it can take up to a year for the body to bounce back, hips, etc. Most definitely. I'm going to zoom all the way down to the bottom. Anne Lewis says they should keep Harry and Meghan's tour itinerary a bit private, including their travel arrangements. Well, the cat is out of the bag officially with the tour itinerary, because I made a video on the full itinerary, which was released officially. But in terms of travel arrangements, I mean, we kind of know what day they're travelling on. I think everything will be perfectly safe. Jill says, I followed a royal chat board from 1993. I can't imagine what those years would have been like with modern social media. Exactly. It would have been completely... It is completely different today than what it was back then. NR says, that's not what Emily... Ooh, we don't mention that one, is saying, but I guess we will have to wait and see. Live, Love and Laugh says, wasn't Harry out at the same time? He had an engagement on the day, but I don't know if he was, out at the same time. But anyway, the nanny would have been there, and she most certainly could pick up a bottle and bottle feed, even expressed. So the fact that Meghan had to get home to do it kind of suggests that, she was using one of the two things that only she has. So have a look. Yes, we're not talking about that lady. John S says, wouldn't it be more secure if travel was done by private... Oh, don't go on the private jets. Right, we're not talking... I'm banning private jets. Private jets gets a talk from me. Right, we're banning private jets. I've had enough of private jets to last me a lifetime. Miriam says, hit those thumbs up, thank you. T French, yeah, I shut down the private jets. T French says, I recently watched that on the ITV The Royal Rota and was not very happy with the report. Oh, don't watch them, watch me. My goodness. Just because they're all glitzy and glam doesn't mean that what they're saying is any good. Cheryl says 140p likes and 598 viewing. Press the like button. Do indeed. 624 actually. Cheryl says when Charles and Camilla toured the Caribbean, the plane was based in Barbados and the press were transported by a private company. So the security was tight. I think that was due to location. However, you know, every trip is different, and every trip will be assessed individually to see what is safe and what is appropriate. So we will find out what has been decided in due course. Betsy says you're the boss. Yes, no more private jets. Barbie Longhair says all private jet talk is I like that one. It's grounded. It has been indeed. How far is Shropshire from London? It is. Oh, it depends how you travel. By car, pushing on 4 hours, I would say. By train, about 3.5, maybe, 3-ish. Oh, Boris Johnson is your sister's MP. My goodness. Rosary Chaplet says, my question is out there. Readopted children for royals, how have the rules adapted over the last century? Well, I don't have... Right, to my knowledge, in terms of being like a prominent member of the royal family, I don't think there has been an adopted royal. Not that I can think of. If anyone knows of any, do let me know. One may have escaped me. But I don't recall one. So I don't think the situation has arose. I don't think there's anything anywhere that says if you're a royal or a prominent royal in the family that you can't adopt. But I don't think there is any provision currently in place that would imply whether they would, you know, be granted a title, or whether they would be able to inherit a title. In terms of bloodlines, technically, I don't think they would, unless those rules were changed. And not a rule. It's just, you know, titles are inherited by bloodline. That is how they are passed down. And you know, if you're adopted, you don't technically have the bloodline. You have the family connection, obviously, because you know, you were raised in that family. But in terms of bloodline, I don't think you would be entitled. But I think they would address the issue of that if it came about. And I don't know. I honestly don't know which way that would play. So it would be very interesting if a prominent member of the royal family did adopt. I mean, taking celebrities that we know, Angelina Jolie, Madonna have adopted, and yet, you know, they've had their own children and they've had adopted children, and I believe that they will probably leave their estates and things to all of their children equally. But it hasn't happened, basically. So I would like to know that too. But I only think we're ever going to find out if it actually happens. Oh, I've never heard about Queen Victoria adopting anybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, royals in the past have taken children in, but that's different. You know, way back in the day, going back all the way to Tudor times and before, sometimes people would have stewardships of other people's children, and in a way it was kind of like adopting, but not actually legally adopting as your own child. It was more like a stewardship, or like a mentorship. So no, I've not heard of Victoria actually legally adopting as a child someone into the family as a child. Maybe I'll do a quick Google actually. Hang on, just 1 second. Being Victoria adopting. Let's see what comes up. Are we talking about Sarah Forbes Bonetta? Otherwise spelled Sarah. Right, I'm going to look at her and read her story. Let's learn together. So, Sarah Forbes Bonetta, let me have a look. Hang on, I think this might have been her. No, it doesn't mention anything. Could this be her? Or was it someone else? Hang on. She was named after the ship HMS Bonetta. Oh, she met the Queen, who was impressed by the young princess's exceptional intelligence and had the girl, who she called Sally, raised as her goddaughter. There you go. She was raised as goddaughter in the British middle class. There we go. So there, raised as goddaughter. So I was right. There was no adoption. So it was more like a stewardship. Just like I thought, it was more like a stewardship, a mentorship, which royals have done. But in terms of actual adoption, I don't believe we've had one, to my knowledge. Yeah, she was not legally adopted. And yes, she was an African princess. Alicia says, what about Dottie? She was an adopted royal. Her mother was a slave in a farm. I haven't heard. Do you know what? That would make a really interesting video talking about that. You've just given me if I'm going to add it to my long list. Shirley says, will there be a Harry and Meghan Rose or a Sussex Rose? Oh, I want one. There is a William and Catherine David Austin Rose. I would like a Harry and Meghan Rose. I really would. I hope there is. But don't forget, these things do take time to breed and create. So maybe they're going through the process right now. Let's have a look. Christine says, did Prince Andrew and Sarah ever take their kids on royal tours when they were younger? Was the press interested in them? Today, the British press seems to be obsessed with baby Archie. Basically, the interest back in the day with Sarah and Andrew and Charles and Diana, a lot of the focus was on Charles and Diana. So the press did tend to, if there was a choice between, a Diana, any kind of engagement that Diana was attending, or one with Andrew and Sarah, if it was a choice between the two, they would always pretty much go with Diana. And I think it pretty much kind of stayed that way all the way through. Now, we don't know if there's going to be a Gayle King interview. There was talk about it on different videos, blah, blah, blah. But nothing has been confirmed. It is all rumour and speculation. Excuse me. Gesundheit. It is all rumour and speculation at this point. I do believe that was a bit of dust going up my nose, by the way. I don't feel very coldy. So, yeah, dust. So yeah, let's not read anything into any Gayle King interview, because we just don't know is the simple answer for that one. Selk-Sieber just got notification. Hello and welcome. Oh, was there a question about Doria? Let me just deal with something. Hang on. There we go. I've just removed somebody from chat. There we go. I can't see a question about... Oh, I can. Sandra T says, what will Meghan's next official be before the tour? Any talk of Doria going on tour? To be honest, I've had so much going on, I haven't checked any upcoming engagements. But sometimes they don't put them on. Sometimes they don't put them on the royal list. So I'm not entirely sure about that one, to be quite honest. Elder Poodle says, yes, a video on the adopted or mentored children would be very interesting. I think it would too. Hello to Pat, who's just joining. CB says, I think we've got an interesting fact. Pakistan's the largest exporter of pink Himalayan salt. My take on going there is probably for both friendship and open commerce. Yeah. And I didn't know that interesting fact. Thank you, Carlos. It's going up. Pamela says, yes, I read the article about the little girl. I thought she was a princess from Africa. Some war was going on. I think her family was wiped out and they rescued her. From what I read, I think her story is quite sad, interesting, but sad. Curtis says, did I know that Misha Nunu speaks in today's show? No, I didn't. I will have to look. Jill says, maybe Gail is helping her friend Oprah in the charity project with Harry, and the press makes it sound like a tell-all. We don't know. At this point, we really don't know. Apparently, did we peak at 619 watching? Hello to everyone. Did I hear about Meghan hiring a PR firm from the USA? I did. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't know why anybody would be making such a big fuss about where they've come from. PR is PR, whether you are, doesn't matter what country you are, if you can get a good PR person and you know of a good PR person, then just go for it. It doesn't have to be a British one. It can be American. It could be Australian. It could be Japanese. You get the idea. It could be from anywhere. If they're good, and you mix well and you gel well, and they get what you want to project, and they have good ideas about how you are going to convey that to the public at large, then just hire who you're happy with. To be honest, I'm not bothered, and I don't think anyone else particularly is either. I think again, it's one of these issues where the only people that are bothered about who their PR is the press, because obviously they have the press have a relationship with PR, don't they? So of course they're interested, but to be perfectly honest, nobody else cares. I mean, I'll say it openly, no one else actually cares. The press can write all that stuff about who the PR. No one cares. Before Meghan, no one cared who the staff was. Literally, nobody was asking any questions about who William and Catherine's PR team were, who their team was. Nobody cared. And I still think nobody really cares. It's just the press. It's just another element to pick at and to go all negative on. To go negative Nancy on. So yeah, my opinion is the everyday person on the street don't really care who the staff are of any of the royals, to be quite honest. Least of all where they've come from. Miriam says the press act like a bunch of gossipy fish. Oh, they do. You can imagine them. You can imagine some. I wasn't going to name one of them, but I won't. You know who I'm talking about. She who shall not be named. You can imagine her with a scrubbing board, in a big bucket of water, with all the other gossipy people scrubbing. Well, did you see this? Blah 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 blah. You know that they're doing it. Except now, they don't do it over their washboards, they do it over Twitter. Liv Love and Laugh says, I guess they are saying US PR because Sarah Latham, who was a British, was Hillary Clinton's PR. And MH44 says, yes, to trust Meghan's like none other. And Pamela says, fishwives, I've never heard that before. Oh yes, it's a common expression in the UK. It's just like going back to where they used to kind of, do all their scrubbing together, or they used to, when people's lives were very different. Hello to Thom from Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. Tonya says, you're right, only the media care. Thankfully, the people don't believe anything they say. They do make they do like to make a spectacle of every little tiny detail, don't they? But no, before Meghan, pre-Meghan, I was here on the scene pre-Meghan, and you know, I would never ever ever have even thought of even considered making a video on who if there was a change of appointment in the team. Literally, nobody cared. And I still think no one does. It's just the press. Anne Lewis says the press are not getting that budget because we have moved into a new era of communication and they cannot get their exclusive. Yes, the worst trait is a gossiper. Let's have a look. Tonya says you're right, only the media care. Thankfully the people... Oh, I think I've read your comment out. Tonya says since the Duchess of Sussex came back to royal work, she has just been smashing. Love her charity clothing line. It's very smart. It is indeed. The smart set, so to speak. Vinny says, why say Meghan hired the firm? Everything the Sussexes do is a joint decision. Exactly. She gets blamed. But again, blamed. There's nothing to blame. I mean, what? You know, royal couple hire PR people? Is there really anything to blame for it? Is there really anything wrong with it being American? Like, really? My goodness. Oh, hello, just got Goff. I've just seen your name. Carolyn says, I do believe in the movie Victoria they brought in a little girl she mentored. You know, I can't remember. They may have done. Steve says, is what you're wearing a jacket or a shirt? It's a... Well, I suppose it's kind of a jacket. It has buttons. Look, and each button does unfasten. So yes, it's kind of like a jacket. I would call it a jacket. Becky says, I love how you remove negativity and keep your channel respectful. Kudos for your channel. Thank you. I was just fed up of private jet speak, to be quite honest. So we banned it. I am Sterling says, curtsy. One looks rather dashing. Oh, would you like a curtsy? Let me just move my water, which I need to remember to drink, actually. Right. I'm going to do my curtsy. You probably won't be able to see fully, but you kind of cross your legs and you do a little... There, like a little bob, and I like a little hand movement as well. I think it finishes it off nicely. You just do a little hand movement. I like that. Oh, maybe you can see better if I turn. Okay, this is where the camera falls off. Right, I'm moving you around so you can see my curtsy better. Right, ooh, that might be better. Look, so you get your foot and you cross your leg over and you down, and that's the perfect curtsy. Maybe I should do a how to curtsy video where you can see properly. But there we go. Did you enjoy my little curtsy interlude? And I need to remember to drink as well, or else I really will be dehydrated. There we go. Were you all curtsying with me? Pamela says, my aunt used to say, better late to a party. That way all eyes are on you. Exactly. I like that sentiment indeed. Who's at Balmoral this weekend? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. Louise says, perfect curtsy, thank you. Jill says, I think it's less about British or US and more about good work ethics, empathy, good morals and skill. I would agree. And if you gel well. Let's have a look. Princess Anne. Okay, Princess Anne's curtsy is more like it's more like all the way down there. That's Princess Anne's curtsy. She goes low. Yes, that is a case of going low, being high. But yes, yes, Fergie does a deep curtsy too. Vinnie Blair says, a fishwife, a coarse-mannered woman who is prone to shouting. Yes, it does match, doesn't it? It matches the personality well. Palmer Lee Stevens says, One of the I Love Lucy shows Lucy and Ethel are practicing curtsying to the Queen. I've never watched that. Oh, Auntie Dee's, I was not cursing with you. I'm currently recovering from a 90-minute yoga class. Oh, well, we can all do a bit of yoga, can't we? Oh no, this is where my set falls. We can all do a bit of yoga. There we go. Now I need to fix my flag. Look what yoga does. Yoga ruins flags. Oh. Doing yoga ruins your set. Oh, let's fix the set. There we go. Right, that's better. We're all fixed now. There. Flag is fully fixed. Yes, I did hear that Zara got hurt falling off her horse, but she's a tough cookie. And I would imagine she just probably got up and got back on it again. So limber like a kitten, yes. Alicia says, Princess usually went slow when she did her curtsy. I thought she sat down. There is all types of kind of curtsies, but the main one that people do is like a quick down, and there you go. Let's have a look. I've probably missed quite a lot of comments. Beverly says, have you noticed that the royal family Instagram stories now look more like Sussex Royal with the lively music and expert production features? They have got better, I have to say. I think someone is doing something a lot better. So yes, there is a slightly higher production value going on. Gail says, I do love a nice low curtsy. It seems so respectful. It does indeed. Does one have to curtsy to wands? Now, if you are a British citizen, it's optional. You don't have to curtsy or bow. You can if you want to, and certainly if you are from a different country that's not British, you most certainly don't have to. But again, you can by choice. If ever you were to meet the Queen and you're from a different country, you can if you want to. No one's going to stop you. If you feel like you want to curtsy or bow, then you do it. But you certainly don't have to. D. Welt says, Harry and Meghan can do just fine on their own. They do not have to keep putting up with the negativity. I applaud them wanting to keep some semblance of a normal life for Archie. Brave people, I would agree indeed. Thank you to Gina, who says you enjoy my channel. Oh, Theresa May did. Theresa May had the funniest dance ever. She most certainly had the funniest curtsy as well. Jules says, oh, does a royal have to curtsy to their own parents? Yes, in public situations, and usually in private. If you're meeting the Queen, say you're one of the Queen's children or grandchildren, and you meet the Queen for the first time that day, you would do a little bow or a little curtsy, and it would be Your Majesty, thereafter followed by Ma'am, or Ma'am as in jam. Anne Lewis says, your yoga is very great. You are very nimbled. I would be suffering from broken bones with that position. Really? There's no bones to break. You just kind of flick up and down. Oh, that was almost a Sharon Stone moment, wasn't it? Yes. Roxy says, yesterday someone asked if you're a bot. Well, I hope you're not a bot. Parmelicine says, I would curtsy to the Queen. Or let me know in the comments, if you are not British, would you curtsy to the Queen if you met her or not? And who wouldn't you... Okay, who would you not curtsy to? That's more interesting. Sharon says, if I tried to position my body that way, I would need a surgeon and a chiropractor. Auntie Dee says, I just tried the deep curtsy, no thanks. Well, just do a little bob then. Just do a little gracious bob. Gina says, I read that Meghan might start her blog again. Oh, yes, I've heard this story too. And basically what... I think I even wrote it down, actually. Yes. So, this move is to prevent false branding. And I quote, prevent false branding. So, what they've done is they have... done whatever it takes to acquire the name, the TIG, for an additional 2 years, was it? No, until 2021. So Meghan now has the name The Tig protected until 2021, which basically means that anybody who wishes to use it to advertise things, false branding, can't do that anymore. So in fact, I do believe there is a YouTube channel called The Tig, which is nothing to do with Meghan and is not actually The Tig. So technically, I don't think they can use that name. Can they? I don't think so. I think what it means is you can't use that name. So anybody who is not Meghan and who is not associated with the actual Tig cannot use the Tig name. So that channel needs to go change its name very quickly, I think. And it's laughing at my Sharon Stone, and Louise says, ooh, Basic Instinct. Let's scoot down. People are telling me who they would curtsy to. Lady Buckingham says, I would curtsy to the Queen because I am part of the Commonwealth. Fiona says, this Canadian would curtsy to any of the royals if I had the privilege to meet them. Becky would curtsy. Jill thinks and she would unless she'd be frozen with nerves and awe. Lots of people most certainly would. Too many people to read out. Lots of people said they would. Lots of people said they would out of respect. I'm still scooting down. Iris says, I would curtsy to the Queen, but not to William. Oh, shade. Oh, we've got some shade going on. My goodness. This is where all the shade comes out. Veronique says, I would curtsy. Obviously, je suis votre oblige. MH44 says, yes, I would curtsy to the Queen. Seems the right thing to do. Barbara says, you're right, she cannot use that name, the Tig. Whoever is behind the Tig, well, in fact, I think I know who's behind the Tig, but anyway, they need to stop doing it. Rukia Blackblazer says, hi, and hi everyone. You've been watching for a while thinking this is a recap. It's not. It most definitely is live. No, I've no news yet on Eugenie's podcast. But one thing Meghan did... if it is out, I haven't listened to it. One thing Meghan did say during her speech was that the Sussex Royal charity launch will be in 2020. So we are not going to get the official charity launch this side of Christmas, anyway. Diana says, I would not curtsy to George. I don't think he'd mind somehow. LD Poodle says it's like our American salute out of respect. And Maria says, did the first American ladies ever curtsy, Michelle or Melania? Do you know, I'm trying to remember. Did Michelle... We know that Michelle touched the Queen on the back and gave her a hug. But I can't remember a curtsy. I don't think so. I'm going to tentatively say I don't think so. Elizabeth Regina says, no American First Ladies did not curtsy. I didn't think so. I can't remember one. Barbara says, oh, hi Barbara. Barbara says, actually, if Meghan has always held the Tig name, I am surprised it was not caught. Maybe because it was not in the public domain, but now YouTube knows. Indeed. Liv Lovenas says, I would curtsy to the Queen, too. She's all I've known as Queen my whole life. Meeting her would be an honour. Black Aristo says, I would not hug the Queen. Well, the Queen actually didn't really seem to mind terribly too much. And hey, she got to hug Michelle Obama, so all's good. Selk Seabar says, straying a bit, but how is my wind chime? Oh yes, my wind chime is absolutely fine and doing well. You can hear it in my weekly vlogs. Oh, Cindy says, I could never curtsy to Andrew and I would not salute Trump. Controversial. Coco says, I think Sussex Royal cannot launch their foundation because the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have launched their foundation. Well, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter how soon or how quick or who first launches whatever. But the Cambridges have they've retained their charity, their foundation, so they don't need to really. There isn't going to be a big launch. I don't think they're going to have a big relaunch. Whereas with Harry and Meghan, they will be launching their foundation. So that will come in 2020 at some point. Let's go down. PM Smile says, I've met the Queen and did a little dip. Ooh, PM Smile, did you get close enough to know what she smells like? Do inform us. Is it like fluffy cotton? Alicia says, what did you do with that spare copy of Meghan's Vogue? I've still got it. It's down the side. I never got round to doing anything with it. But hey, if it's going for $180 on eBay, no. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I still got to decide. Yeah, both foundations will be fine. I do believe. Liv Love says, I remember seeing a photo of a little girl hugging the Queen. The Queen didn't expect it, but she went along with it. Well, she would. She's not a monster, you know. Annette says, I would curtsy to members of the royal family. It's the way I was raised by my mother, to show respect. Australia is a Commonwealth country, and I have immense respect for the Queen. God save the Queen. Boo says, editor of Vogue UK September edition, won Magazine of the Year. Woo! I didn't know that, but whoop. Jamila says, I would curtsy to the Queen. I am a big fan of hers. It would have been an honour to meet her. I have never met the Queen, but I would love to. But I confess, I want to sniff her hair. I do indeed. Rose, it looks so fluffy. Rose says the Cambridges and Sussexes are family and not feuding. I don't think they're feuding at all. It's all press again. It's those pesky fishwives again. And we can include some of the men in that as well. There are a few male pesky fishwives as well. Vinny says, saw a child hugging Prince Harry yesterday like she never intended to let him go ever again. Oh, I think I might be the same. Elizabeth Regina says, as Americans, we are not required to curtsy. You are not. It is optional. You can if you want to. Kizzy says, good boy, I am trying to drink. Elliot says, pesky. Yes, pesky, like naughty, pesky. Have you heard that before? I don't know. I guess pesky. Miriam's laughing at the bottom of chat. Coco says, as a schoolgirl, I have curtsied to the Queen a long time ago during some of her Commonwealth visits. And I bet you've never ever forgot. Bassani Golf says, what role does Sarah Laven play as part of their household? Is she not? They have a big team, and I think, you know, they're still drawing people in. Rosary says, I've heard pesky. And Pamela Dobson says, the magazine is no longer in circulation. No, it is not, but apparently it is very, very expensive. Very expensive indeed on eBay. There we go. Let's just take a little peek at something I'm reading. I wanted to know the exact position of Sarah Laven. Hang on just a second. Where's it gone? Right, hang on just a second. Let's just have a little peeky here. Right. She was Hillary Clinton's former campaign manager. Head of communications, there we go. Yes, the head of communications. So she will be heavily involved in PR because PR is about communications, but head of communications is kind of like the overseeing branch of it all. There we go. What is a fishwife? I think, who had a really good definition of fishwife? I think it might have been It was Vinny. Vinny had a really good definition of fishwife. Please repeat. Yes, happy 35th birthday to Prince Harry in a few hours. Yes, fishwife is a coarse married woman who is prone to shouting. Basically common. Live, love and laugh. Yes, you were right about Sarah Latham. Annette says, which royal reporters do you think will attend the South Africa tour? All of them. I think all of them will. Elliot says, I have ever used pesky my entire life. Oh, you've never used it, but you love the term. Oh, use it. Jill has heard pesky and fishwives, but maybe not in the same sentence. Yes, I agree. The Brits are not required to curtsy either. It is optional. Pat Long says male fishwife, and you suggested one of them. Possibly, yes. There are a few others as well. Oh, what's the news been like surrounding Hurricane Dorian in the Grand Bahamas? It has been on the news. It's been on the news and on British TV. So yes, we are fully aware of it. Black Arista says, isn't the domain name for the TIG for sale? Perhaps they bought it. I think that's what we're referring to. I think they actually bought it. Yes, Bahamas is part of the Commonwealth. Little Annie says, fishwife comes from the days women used to work on the docks gutting fish and used to shout to each other. Indeed. But I also like the washerwomen as well. And there's a good scene. There's a little one of my favourite scenes, and it's really quick in one of my favourite films, The Little Mermaid, is when the women are there on their washing boards having a good old gossip. Washerwomen. Which I know is a very outdated term these days. It could also be washermen, but the old terminology is washerwoman. But yes, men do their own washing too. I've just done mine today. Jennifer Paget, another male fishwife, was the chubby guy who hosts breakfast. Oh, I like that description. The chubby guy who hosts breakfast. Now, we are not shaming anybody because of their weight here, but I get your description in the context that you meant it. So I would agree with that one. Annette says, do the Sussexes have any say over which royal reporters? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's like how certain people can say, you're not coming, you're not coming, you're not coming because I don't like your media, I don't like your news, your fake news, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it works quite that same way. Black Aristo says, I still use washerwoman. Well, there we go. I like your comment, Elizabeth. Hello to Kay, who's just made it. Do I watch Love Island? Annette says, I haven't heard that phrase used in years. Oh, which phrase? Which phrase? Which phrase have you not heard in years? Oh, hi Georgia Sunshine. I've just seen I've just scrolled up. Georgia Sunshine is here. Hello. And welcome. Candice says, in hindsight, to avoid curtsying to two particular members of the royal family who shall go unnamed, you would hide behind someone so I wasn't noticed. Maybe a pot plant. A big pot plant. Or a statue. Inga says, sorry, should have been clearer. What has been the UK response to Hurricane Dorian? Well, usually there is lots of charities and things that donate aid. I mean, usually the UK, with any natural disaster around the world, is one of the first to send in the Red Cross where needed, or Oxfam, or lots of different disaster relief charities. And as a government as well, a lot of the times troops are sent in where needed, and donations of money are made. We have is it 1% of our GDP, our gross domestic product, goes on foreign aid. We do have a really big foreign aid budget, and that money does go out not just to disaster zones or that kind of thing. We have, a program of foreign aid which goes out to all kinds of different countries. I don't know the specifics on the UK government's response to this particular hurricane, but I imagine it's pretty safe to say it will be pretty much the same as other natural disasters. They will send out not just money, they usually send out actual physical help where help is required. Feet on the ground, I shall say. Island Girl says several government British have been in the Bahamas. Well, there we go. Usually feet on the ground response. Elect Lady says yes, he is, but don't think his wife cares as long as his ratings are good. Oh, are we talking? Oh, I don't think we want to know about who we're talking about there. Pierre Smile says the Queen's Royal Navy are at the Bahamas at all times and were there pre-hurricane. Okay. Thank you to NA. There we go. No, is there anything on my list that I've kind of missed out that I really wanted to talk about? Oh, now, I know I've just seen one comment about can all the comments not be about Meghan, but there was one interesting story which I think I have to just quickly say. So, there was an etiquette expert this week who actually did say that Meghan had an etiquette lesson with him, which she thoroughly enjoyed, before coming to the UK to have tea with the Queen. And I have no reason to believe that he's lying. He seems like a very genuine person. And hey, I think if I was going to have tea with the Queen, or if I knew I was going to have tea with the Queen or meet the Queen, and I was a little bit worried about, if there was going to be this spoon or that spoon, or how to hold the cup, I think I would probably enlist the help of someone too. And fortunately for me, I do know how to handle a china cup. And this man's article was really funny because he was kind of saying that in the modern world, people know how to text, people know how to use social media, people know how to do all these really complicated things, but people have lost the art of how to handle a china cup, how to handle a saucer and a cup. People just don't know. Confronted with a table full of different knives and forks and cutlery, silverware if you like, and a china cup, people don't know what to do with it. We lead these complicated lives, but the simple things people haven't got a clue about. So I just thought I liked the story because Meghan actually had the good sense to learn before she came. So hey, if you know you're going to have tea with the Queen, use your brain, and if you are a little bit concerned about that you might not know the correct way to do things, learn. And she did, which I thought was quite a proactive way of addressing the situation. So yes, I just thought that was really, really, really interesting to know that, yeah, I guess people don't really know how to handle a china cup. Do you know how to handle a china cup? Would you have had the same lesson in Meghan's circumstance? Do let me know. Kelly says you are on fire tonight. I don't know why, my brain is like mush. Yes, I really want to watch the Downton movie if I can find someone to go with me. Thank you, Lady Buckingham, for your firm hand on the matter. Do I think any royal will visit the Bahamas soon? Oh, a visit is never too far away. No presents to open, I'm sorry. and I've not had, literally not had time to go to my box. No, William and Catherine have not cancelled their trip to Pakistan. We are awaiting further details. Island Girl says, you are the best. I like your other YouTube channel. Thank you. Elliot's British Life. Oh, I want to hear what people are saying about all the China cups. Let's have a look. Yes, I do feel better for being in your company. I do. T Sweet says, I would like to take an etiquette course. Sounds fun. Well, apparently Meghan really enjoyed it, and she would have loved to have done more. DC says, why would they stick the Cambridges with a trip to Pakistan? It's at the request of the British government. Jennifer Paget says, Royal Dalton with hand-painted periwinkles. People don't know how to handle a hand-painted periwinkle these days. My goodness. Vinny Blair says, Mr. Etiquette. I forgot his name, yes, but we'll call him Mr. Etiquette. Should have kept his mouth shut. Can we have the link on Facebook, please? I like to read stuff. I can probably find it now, to be quite honest. Let me do a quick Google. Just bear with me. Okay, right. It's just coming up. It will be here. There are several articles, to be quite honest, but I think the main one was possibly this one. Yes. Here we go. A quote about Meghan. She enjoyed it so much that she wanted to come back. It's a man called Mr. Fry. The younger generation doesn't know what bone china is. And they certainly don't know anything about how to handle a cup and saucer or how to handle a knife and fork. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at his picture. Oh, I've got to... Right, I'm sorry. It is the Daily Mail, but this article is just funny. I love it. Oh, I love it. And it's probably very true as well. Where's my chat room gone? Here it is. Okay, here's the link. You can click it or not. It's up to you. But it's really funny. And the picture of him holding his china cup. I love it. Let me scroll down the article a bit more. Like I say, I did read it briefly. And I kind of got the gist of it without reading it too deeply. He adds, they come to us mainly to find out what we should do as we are having this social event. The same sort of thing happened with Meghan. She knew she would be having tea with the Queen. Here they really do not know what to do. What we have found is that we give them little information if they are interested and watch what happens. Again, the reservation wasn't made under her name. It was made by a friend. We live in a society which is a styrofoam cup or a cardboard cup with a straw, and everybody eats with their hands, as we see with ads on television. My goodness. Who would handle a styrofoam cup? It's a wonder they know what a knife or fork is. The younger generation doesn't know what bone china is, and certainly don't know anything about how to handle a cup and saucer, or how to handle a knife and fork. Not to mention any particular brand, but a lot of people over here have donuts for breakfast. Are you one of these people that has donuts for breakfast? On the run in a styrofoam cup with a bit of a stick in it. Or they have a latte. Heaven forbid. Obviously, she's not going to get that for afternoon tea if she goes to the Queen. Like everyone who comes here, they want to know, well, do I hold the cup and saucer like this? Is this all right if I leave the spoon like this? Do I ask for more tea? And does it matter if the cup is put on the plate like this? What is the plate for? Oh my goodness. Right, I'm not going to read any more, but you get the idea. It's pretty funny. So if you want a bit of a laugh, do read that. But he's probably right. I mean, he's actually probably right. People don't know how to handle fine china. Hyacinth Bouquet would be appalled at society today. Yvette says, what's the first move you would make if you received an invitation to dinner with the Queen? I would faint. I would faint and flop over and die. Okay, I'm being over dramatic, but I would be. Oh my goodness, I would be a mess. Coco says most Americans need these etiquette lessons, how to use their knives and forks. That's your words, not mine. Don't come for me, people. Don't come for me. Let me scroll down what people are saying about it all. Linda Manassa says, we live in a drive-through world, always on the run. We do indeed. Blackery says, perhaps this is one of the many reasons why Downton Abbey is so loved the traditions. We should never underestimate the traditions. Alicia says, I want to take etiquette classes. Carolyn says, worked in a China department and just wanted a couple of sets of china. Jules says, what country are you from, Coco? And DeWalt says, we bought pre-sale tickets for Downton Abbey. I cannot wait. My only regret is not seeing the exhibit in West Palm Beach, Florida, when I had the chance. Oh no. I'm scrolling down. Vernon says, I've been known to have donuts for breakfast. The shame. The shame. Don't tell Mr. Fry, the etiquette. Mr. Fry, the etiquette guy. Don't tell him. Don't do it. No, we will not tell Mr. Fry about your little secret. Pamela says, the only thing for the nieces was my holiday time. Meant polishing all the silver. I miss my aunt and the silverware. George says, oh my goodness, I love you all. The morph mentioning Hyacinth Bouquet. Georgia Sunshine, do you have a love for Hyacinth Bouquet? My goodness. She is my icon. I model my life on Hyacinth Bouquet, which may not be a good thing, but yes. The Bouquet residence lady of the house speaking. Georgia Sunshine, you need to look at my video. I've written my own Keeping Up Appearances episode, which I've started to serialize on the channel. I will have to show. Okay, type in I don't know, Keeping Up Appearances new episode, and my version will come up, and I do all the voices. I love it. I really do. Right. I've gone off. What? We have a donation. NA. Are you sure? $99. Speechless. You know, chin hit the floor. Thank you. You get a golden fan flap for sure. You get 2 golden fan flaps. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you for supporting the channel. My goodness. And Barbara has donated $2. Thank you so much, Barbara. And again, you get a golden fan flap and a gracious kiss from me, with a fine bone china. PX828 says, I love Hyacinth. Oh, there, you can't go wrong with emulating Hyacinth Bouquet. My goodness. Sandy's got, Hyacinth is my heroine. I love Hyacinth. Shirley says, my mother was strict about finger bowls. Oh, one should always have finger bowls. Georgia says, I have to go watch. You do, you have to. Yes, Kelly, that was amazing. Thank you so much to NA. Pianist Mel says, comedy skit video on US TV is worth a Google. It's an etiquette lesson for Meghan's relatives. Worth a Google. I will. I think I'll have to. Oh, Barbara. My goodness, you donated 50? What's going on tonight? What is up with you guys? Thank you. My goodness. Thank you so much, people. Mwah. Thank you so much. Guys, you don't have to do that. You know that. Thank you. Southern Lady says, I loved Keeping Up Appearances, as do I. I'm sorry, I know Live, Love and Laugh hates slow mode. It's to keep the trolls at bay, or else they would repeatedly post messages, so I'm sorry. But we have to have it on. I don't have it on Patreon. No need. Barbara says, Grr, it's not supposed to be 2, it's supposed to be more. You've done it now, thank you. Thank you. Georgia says, wow, Super Chat is on fire. People are so kind. Indeed. Thank you so much to everyone. Mwah. Yvette says, I'm sure you would handle the experience of being in the Queen's presence with style and grace. I would curtsy. I don't even think I would bow. I think I'd curtsy instead. Alicia says, I had to wait 30 seconds to say this. I know, slow mode is annoying. I know. Curtis says, Misha Nunu. Yes, Meghan's friend, Nisha Nunu, who designed the white husband shirt that she was wearing for her Smart Set fashion launch this week. Rose says, love keeping up... Yes, I love keeping up appearances too. Stephanie says, slow mode also helps us slow readers. And it also helps to keep the chat moving, because otherwise, if everyone's posting lots of comments, it zooms a bit too quickly, so I would agree. Yes, and slow mode helps the moderators too. Thank you so much to Lady Buckingham for helping tonight. Thank you. Is that another 99? Oh, I don't know. Have I got another one? What? Oh my god, it's showing up as twice. Oh, I don't know. Is it meant to be another one, or is it a mistake? Let me see if my set's falling. My set's falling down now. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. But if it is an additional donation, my goodness, thank you so much. I will give you a massive fan flap. Mwah. My goodness, thank you so much, guys. You do not have to do that. You know that. Sandy Scott says, please hold a high tea complete with watercress, cucumber and chicken salad sandwiches and light finger buffet with riparian entertainments. Yes, I will. We shall sing songs. There'll always be an England, and England shall be free. As Hyacinth would sing. That's how Hyacinth sings. Okay, I do not normally sing like that. My goodness. NA says it doesn't allow me to donate more than that. Oh, you did donate twice. Thank you. My goodness. You are so kind. Thank you. Black Arita says, I love keeping up appearances. Mrs. Bucket wanted better and tried to improve herself. And that she did. And she made Richard keep that car spotless. No avocados, thank you. A candlelight supper. Ooh, maybe I should do a candlelight supper. I can't believe she called my kiwi fruit lower middle class. Yes. Mary McMillan says, love Hyacinth, my favourite. Love Downton Abbey. Me too. Rose says, I can only donate my time and admiration. Thank you. I'll give everyone a big hug. Look, I'm sending a big virtual hug to everybody. Bucket or bouquet? Bouquet, darling. Yes, NA, you are awesome. Thank you. I don't know what to do other than giving you lots of fan flaps. I'll give you another one. There we go. Thank you so much. You know what? I've broken this. Look, I've flapped this fan so much. I've broken it again. Oh my goodness. I'm on the hunt again for more fans. Carolyn says, sending you hugs also. Thank you. And Veronique says, amazing and marvellous. Annette says, I saw a Harry and Meghan cutout dolls with outfits. Oh, I think I've got a set of those somewhere. I bought it for my 7-year-old niece. It was amazing. I think I found that. I have one. I do have one in my collection. Verna says, 2 other shows I loved were absolutely fabulous. I love it. Sweetie Darling. And French and Saunders. Yes, Are You Being Served? With Mrs. Slocum and her famous cat. Say no more. Alicia says, yes, she did. Oh, I will check the Misha Nunu interview, and I will comment about it in my next video. Yes, it was spelled bucket, but pronounced bouquet. And I definitely think that you need to check out my version of a Hyacinth episode. Definitely. Hello to Yvette Renee. Hello. Welcome. I loved Are You Being Served too. Well, the only reason I'm late, Mr. Run Bold, is because I was having terrible trouble with my pussy. That's what she used to say. I'm not being rude. Tanja says, I like Ruby in Upstairs Downstairs. And Indy says, I love giving up appearances. Some of my best memories of spending time with my late mum was watching Hyacinth on Thursday. Oh, I watched every episode as they came out. Yes, I'm that old. I watched them all coming out. Bassani Gold says, did you read that the solid gold toilet in Blenheim Palace was stolen? Yes, I did. And the only person I can think of who would want a solid gold toilet would be President Trump. It would be perfect for Trump Tower, wouldn't it? It would blend in. No, I am not suggesting that President Trump stole the toilet. But I bet by now it's probably all smelted down. And probably is not a toilet anymore. But it would look good in Trump Tower, wouldn't it? You've got to admit. It goes. Yvette Renee said, I love Are You Being... Yes. Me too. Did people like my Mrs. Slocum impression? Yvette says, you are on fire on YouTube. Would you accept the chance for a talk show? Like, oh, I would... Look, if somebody wants to give me an Ellen-style production, I'm there. I would dance like Ellen. No, I would do my own version. But yes, if somebody wanted to give me like a massive talk show, I'm there. I'm all for it. Tammy says, you're the sun. I am like Tarquin. And look, I nearly have silk pyjamas. Z says, bye-bye and hugs, sending love. I hope I said your name correctly. Love and hugs to you too. Mwah. Ooh, look, it's nearly time to go, people. Curtis, I will watch it. I will watch it, Curtis. Debbie says Marks & Spencer's shares were up from $197 on Thursday to $204 on Friday. Wow, the power of one dress and one woman. Jill says smelted down. Yes, melted down. Smelt that toilet down. Annette says, got case notes to get in. Blessings all. I am going. As for the gold toilet, Trump isn't allowed gold toilets in maximum security. Enjoyed the chat. It would look really good in Trump Tower, you have to agree. Pamela says, ooh, the comedian on BritBox. Yes, I've seen her in the States at first. I thought it was a tea of some kind. No, I've never seen Dreamgirls. I know, shock. Shock, I've never seen Dreamgirls. It's something I need to. Right, I am going to have to go because it is 11:45 at night time here in the UK. And we have overrun. So I want to say a really, really big thank you to everyone who has joined and contributed to this chat because you have kept me sane in a very difficult week. So thank you so, so much for helping me and thank you for supporting. I love you all. So I will be back next week. I will be back same time, 10 o'clock GMT, which is British time, every Saturday. So if you have enjoyed this chat, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I will be posting my weekly vlog on Sunday on Elliot's British Life, so do go and check that out too. So from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and goodbye.